You need to do the census, guys. Please.
So,
So go ahead.
wait. Okay. So, in my community, I can't speak for all Black communities. Lord knows I can't. But in my community, we didn't do the census. Like the whole response when people brought it up, I don't want the government knowing my business.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you're on Section 8 and food stamps. The government already knows who's supposed to be in here. Completing your census is not going to hurt you whatsoever. We don't just need Doge on in the White House. We need Doge in Congress, on the state level, and on the local levels. But the number one thing that we need to fix is our census. That I
Right.
from what I see, other than a DOD, that's the bulk of where our money is wasted because it decides how many representatives we get and who pays for the representatives and every other expense that they occur while in office. So whether or not you're legal or illegal, paying taxes is mandatory, but paying taxes does not make you a citizen. And unless you are a citizen, you should not be accounted for in our census. After weeks of Democrats holding plan rallies, basically, because they literally told people to show up in white, inviting people from all over the states instead of going through the neighborhoods of these affected districts for the public comment, they flooded our public comment. And after the committee voted to pass the new map, Democrats decided to flee the state. Some are in Illinois, some are in New York, and it's exciting. It really is exciting. Politics has never been this exciting for me. And it's like I'm watching a bounty being put out on these Democrats by
Right.
Kim Paxton and then Greg Abbott. It's actually really funny. Last night or yesterday, they had a Senate hearing and they emphasized that they invited the incumbents to come out and speak at the public comment. Of course, they're out of state. They didn't show up. But for whatever reason, specifically the Black community, we don't think that we can be racist, which that is false. According to me, that's false. But
Yeah.
also, we issue so much hate to other people outside of our race and sometimes to our own race that we completely negate facts. Just because someone is Black, and that's really what they're championing now in
Yes.
Texas, just because you are Black, just because you are brown, just because you are a woman, doesn't mean that you can represent me. Kamala Harris couldn't do it for me. I'm
Right.
telling you. Donald Trump represents me better than Kamala Harris ever could. And that's the power of not bowing down to identity politics. I can tell you right now that the midterms, they're going to be as emotional as a presidential year simply
Yes.
because of not only these maps, but everything that Trump has done. People are going to either love it because they have common sense, or
Yep.
they're going to hate it because they have Trump derangement syndrome. And it's so destructive to this nation. We will literally, or they will literally issue hate and wish this man the absolute worst while he is the president of the country they stay in.
Yep.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Meanwhile, your people, whether that's your voters, your residents, or actually Black people, are literally struggling in a
Yep.
city that you run. But it's not just Johnson is just stupid enough to spearhead something like this. It's
Right.
him, Karen Bass, and Adams.
Yep.
And Jasmine Crockett. And Jeffries. They are leading the Democrat Party into destruction. But if you ask me, they are already there. I knocked on every door in that neighborhood in Fort Worth, and 90% were people who are not able to vote. 90%. Again, it's not just jobs that are affected, it's housing, it's education. How she can't prioritize, how anyone refuses to prioritize the American people first, I don't understand. But it's not until she lives in neighborhoods like South Poly that was once predominantly Black, that are now filled with members of the Hispanic community, great people, but we know the reality. One, you cannot vote, so the likelihood of a politician actually coming and serving this area is very slim because they want the numbers, but they don't want the work. They actually welcomed immigrants
Yeah.
that I remember Johnson standing up and said, come to our city, you'll be safe here. Like any sanctuary city has done. It's just
Yep.
completely insane. They don't really care about their residents. They
Yeah.
want to spend all of this money, including Johnson,
Yeah.
on all of these immigrants, literally reopening schools that were shut down. Paying taxes doesn't make you a US citizen. Okay. And like you tried to explain to her, but again, it's the whole gotcha moment. It's more than taxes that we should be worried about. It's housing, it's education. These are our neighborhoods. And you skipped over the fact, or she didn't give you a chance to say, Democrats are literally using illegal immigrants to pack our neighborhoods to increase the amount of representatives we get. That's why they're fighting so hard in Texas, because they know redrawing these maps isn't the last step. They know that removing illegal immigrants from our census would disrupt the Democrat Party. That's why they're fighting so hard. So it's not just taxes that we should be worried about, it's housing, education that's already failing, and just resources in general. And again, putting Americans first. You paying your taxes doesn't make you a citizen, and you shouldn't have American rights if you aren't a US citizen. And you for sure shouldn't be included in the census. And I truly believe that once we remove illegal immigrants from the census, Democrats will have to stop fighting so hard because they would have no reason to.
Absolutely. And since you brought up the district redrawing, before we move on, can you give us an update about that? Because you're right in the middle of it.
I'm sorry. I am. District 33, my district, is one of the targeted districts that we are currently redrawing. But also, when you have your neighbor saying, something happens in America, I've been sending all of my money home anyway. I
Yep.
could just go back to my house in whatever country they come from. And she is so fixated on race. The only people who are making this a race issue are liberals.
Yep.
They're liberals.
Yes.
Because when Trump said that mass immigration, mass illegal immigration affects the black and brown community, and he brought up black jobs, we the black community, we made memes about it. We didn't pick
Yeah.
up a book. We didn't Google anything. We didn't do any amount of research. We are literally cheering for our own demise. I don't know her race, but I can tell you right now, with everything going on, if you ever hear a Democrat say the black and brown community, they're not actually talking about the black and brown community. They're talking about illegal immigrants, and they're grouping everybody together so you feel included. That's the
Right.
definition of liberal inclusivity. That is not really about black and brown natives to this nation. They're doing this for illegal immigrants. And I promise you, they really don't care about the brown vote. They know that the majority of black people are going to continue to vote Democrat, even though the 200 years is coming up. But especially in the state of Texas, they are realizing that just because someone is brown doesn't mean that they're about to go along with their foolishness. Yes, we
Yeah.
have Hispanic liberals, but when I tell you the Hispanic community is the majority in the state of Texas, and the Hispanic community is the reason why Texas is still red, I truly do mean that. The majority of the Hispanics that I know, they're
Yeah.
conservative, mainly because one, their family values, and then two, they know the dangers of an open border. They
Wow.
may not agree with everything that Trump is doing, but they
Right.
for sure don't agree with an open border. So it's not us, it's not conservatives making this a race issue. It's liberals.
Yes, the identity politics is crazy.
Most people don't know this information. I don't know if they teach about it in school, but I don't remember learning anything about the 1924 Immigration Act or Hart-Celler from 1965. But why would any politician really fix it? On either side of the aisle, but specifically Democrats, why would they fix it knowing that it increases the amount of representatives that we have? There's just more
Exactly.
seats. Why would anybody fix it? And I didn't know that Trump was working on this from his first term, but he was spot on when he said we literally have to stop including not Americans, but illegal immigrants in our census. That's why we have Democrats getting arrested at camps, at detention centers, at Alligator Alcatraz. That's why
Yeah,
they go so hard for illegal immigrants. I thought originally it was okay, these people are eventually going to be able to vote and they know to stay loyal to Democrats. That's not the case.
that's right.
Democrats know that as long as we pack these neighborhoods in my districts with illegal immigrants, let's not worry about how this affects the black and brown community. But let's pack, I'm gonna use their verbiage, let's pack our neighborhoods with illegal immigrants who cannot vote
That's right.
because I know that it's going to give me the right amount of numbers for my district. And one thing that I don't understand is why illegal immigrants actually do the census. I don't really think or believe that any illegal immigrant is going to do the census now because again we have Trump in the office. I
That's
wouldn't do it.
right.
But I don't understand anyone who would jump over the border and then fill out paperwork saying, "Hey, I'm here." Unless we have Democrat or liberal groups saying, "Hey, we need you to do this so I can help you get benefits." And if
That's
that's
right.
the case, which I believe so, we have to put a stop to that. But the most important thing right now is fixing our census. Hey, it's racist to be against mass immigration. It's
Yeah.
racist to say that people can't jump over our border and just be welcomed into our neighborhoods. It's not racist. It's patriotic. It's patriotic.
Do you think I can go to another country and set up my own rules to live by, use the language I choose, and then tell that country that you must speak my language? That's not going to happen. The United States has been more tolerant than most other countries. Other countries are making it much more difficult to get citizenship. We have been naive. We have been exploited and abused by the different tactics to gain citizenship in America. It's time to wake up. Global migration in the past was not projected to be as it is today. We must establish new rules suitable for the times that we're in, and that's not destabilizing our communities. A large number of people entering a country can change it forever.
They just stopped direct deposit for the Democrats.
What?
So they just put it out. If they want their paycheck, they got to come pick it up in person.
Man, I guess good old Beto is gonna start sending checks.